Welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, and today we're going to be talking about protecting your knees when running. So the Runpreneur vlog is part of the Runpreneur challenge, which is our mission to save the lives of children by raising £1 million for 6 amazing children's charities, which between them will cover the whole spectrum of issues affecting children on a global scale. We're going to raise this money by embarking upon a crazy running challenge of trying to run vlog on consecutive days the distance of 1 lap around the world. So to put that into perspective, it's 12 years of consecutive daily running, at least 5 kilometres whilst vlogging, and I even do it barefoot style. It is 40,075 kilometres in total, just shy of 25,000 miles. To put it in perspective of number of days worth of consecutive running, it's 4,292 days. I'm currently on day 446, I believe, today, so I'm just over 10% of the way there. If you want to find out how to support the challenge, please go to the links in my bios or to the website challenge.runpreneur.co, and let's get started. So today's topic is protecting your knees whilst running, and this was a question that was brought to our attention by Gavin Gill, which is one of the Runpreneur community members, and his question is how does he protect his knees, because he's training for a half marathon, he feels in good shape, he feels 100%, and as soon as he starts running his knees really start to ache. Okay, so first and foremost, I am no sports injury recovery expert, but I can give you my opinion of the steps I would take if I was in your position. So that's how I'm kind of coming from when we're talking about this question. And the first thing that I would consider or make people aware of in this situation is that running, people think, oh, it's just about your legs. But obviously your legs have got lots of parts. You know, you could argue that your feet form part of your legs. You could say your ankles, your calves, your shins, your knees, your hamstrings, your quads, your glutes, right the way, you know, they all form part of your legs. And then your legs are attached to the rest of your body. So your core, you know, your upper body, your shoulders, your triceps, biceps, elbows, you know, everything is linked in your body. And when you get an issue or an injury, what I've learned through doing a huge amount of running over the past 3 or 4 years is that everything's interconnected, and you might have ache in your knee, but that could be the result of an issue with your hip, or it could be a result of an issue with your ankle or your foot, because it's a rhythmic sport and it's repetition. So if you're slightly out of sync with your running form or your running style or technique, it can have a knock-on effect to the rest of your body. And it might just be that your knees are the first area of your body that are showing signs of the aching, when actually the cause could be another part of your body. So be aware of that is the first thing I would consider. The second thing I would look at is my running form. Okay, so you know, how does it feel when I run? I mean, most people don't see themselves running, and they would think that they've got a really good running form, but in actual fact it could be a really bad running form. So the typical form is to be running on the balls of your feet, landing lightly and pushing off the ground lightly. That improves running efficiency. You should be relatively upright, but the easy way to describe it is if you had a piece of string going through your body pulling you upright, somebody should be pulling up and slightly forward. So you should be kind of leaning slightly forward when you're running. You should never be leaning over above your knee lift. So if your knee lift comes up, your knee should be under your kind of chin. In that regard, you don't want to be pushing any too far further forward than that, unless you're kind of sprinting, which we're not when we're talking about endurance running. So that's the kind of form and posture we're looking for. You know, you can be looking at nice knee elevation, but you always want to be mindful of your body posture so that you're not out of sync. It should be a nice, you know, solid base to your running whilst landing lightly on the balls of your feet. So difficult to see, and highly unlikely that you're going to get someone to film you when you run to kind of do that. So an easy way of getting that assessed is when you go to get some new footwear. And you've probably heard of the term gait analysis, which is G-A-I-T, gait. I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but they use it as a tool when purchasing your next running footwear. And what the objective of gait analysis is to do is to ensure that you land perpendicular with the ground. Because some people will land and their ankles or knees or joints will lean more to the outside or the inside. It's called pronation or supination, when you're leaning more on the outside or the inside. And the impact of that over the course of time, if you're landing not perpendicular with the ground. Another dog trying to attack me here. There's a couple more dogs here, so I'm just going to try and get past this lady without getting savaged by dogs. Oh yeah, they're quite intimidating. So hopefully they don't see me as a next dinner break. But anyway, so the idea is that you want to be landing as your ankle joint in particular perpendicular with the ground as possible. That's the kind of form and posture you're looking for. And quite often people struggle with these if they're landing slightly pronounced or supernounced, then that can cause issues with your knees. So a gait analysis would be a good free way to start. Most decent running footwear companies will offer to do gait analysis when you're selecting your next running trainers. You don't have to buy them. You can just go and you can get your gait done, look as if you're looking to buy a new pair of footwear, and you'll instantly be able to see whether your running form or posture is landing as it should. Okay, so that's what I would certainly recommend doing. If you are seeing that your gait is out and you're landing more kind of leaning to the outside to the in or vice versa, then I would consider purchasing some footwear that corrects that. Okay, so the other option is Barefoot running footwear. It's just too painful running if you're landing outside of kind of the traditional running form. So Barefoot footwear is another way of correcting your posture, although your calves and Achilles needs to be strengthened before you do that. So I'm not saying just take up barefoot running. I'm saying that if it is a consideration, you can consider it, but it takes a year to transition into barefoot running. So gait analysis, making sure that you're landing perpendicular, would be the next place that I looked. If I was still getting issues with my knees, I would go and get a sports massage and just explain you've got some issues with your knees, and they will do the whole of your legs, all of your muscles. They'll work probably your Achilles as well and sole of your foot, and they'll try and identify areas of tightness or areas where there's kind of some knots or something within your muscles, which again can have an issue and have an ultimate, the ultimate result of inefficiencies in your muscles, and joints could be potentially affecting your knees. So sports massage is another really good way. I mean, I know we're out of COVID now. I'll generally have a sports massage every 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, just to try and, even if anything, it just gives me the confidence that somebody's casting their eyes over my muscles and my joints to see if there's anything that's a potential injury waiting to happen. Because achy knees are a sign, okay? If you've got achy knees, if you keep doing it, eventually those achy knees will turn into an injury, which is what we're trying to avoid. So it's much easier avoiding being injured than recovering from being injured. So injury prevention is something that's really, really important if you're looking to run more frequently. So hopefully that helps, Gavin. The 3 things I would look at is, first and foremost, I would try and consider my running form. Am I running traditionally? Or have I got any kind of crazy habits when I run that could be the result of this? To look at that further, I'd go to gait analysis. If my gait was out, I would look at purchasing running footwear that would correct that. And finally, I'd go for sports massage as well to get almost like have a service on my muscles and joints to see what could be the root line cause. And when it's identified, a good sports masseuse will be able to give you some exercises to strengthen and recover that will hopefully bring you back into good condition so that you can continue embarking upon your running. Whilst you are getting aching knees, listen to your body. Don't push too hard. If you're getting aching, just do low, slow mileage to begin with until you feel that you've solved the issue. If you don't solve the issue, it's only going to get worse and worse, because as I've stated, running is a rhythmic, repetitive morning, it's afternoon, but anyway, running is a very repetitive exercise. So if you're out of sync or you're running with an inefficiency, it's only going to get worse and worse the more you run on it without getting it corrected. So it's really important you get to the bottom of the cause. Hope that's useful. So that's pretty much it for me today. Any questions on this, drop me a comment. I'll try and respond to every one. Please remember that this running vlog episode is part of the Runpreneur Challenge, which is our mission to save the lives of children by raising £1 million for 6 amazing children's charities, which between them cover the whole spectrum of issues affecting children on a global scale. We're doing this by run blogging on consecutive days the distance of 1 lap around the world. So it's a crazy 12-year consecutive daily running challenge of at least 5 kilometres a day, and I even have to do it whilst blogging and barefoot style. So find out how to support the challenge, go to the links in my bios, or check out the website challenge.runpreneur.co. It is just .co, there's no .co.uk, it's just .co, and Runpreneur is spelled RUNPRENEUR. So that's it for me today. Stay positive, stay happy, I'll see you tomorrow.